lower cost or no cost type shelter or home for them. And I used to be in the military. I served 8 years in the Air Force. And we used to have barracks. And in those barracks, everybody looked after their areas, and you just had a small little area. And, people that had a little bit of pride in what they were doing and all that, and helped build more pride in what they were doing, they would look after their buildings and keep them clean and all the rest. We need some type of program like that to deal with this situation.
So, thank you, and again, a complex question, but there's a couple things that are in play right now. With the Housing Task Force, we've been working, and I've been sitting in on it, and I've been sitting in on phone calls because with BC Housing, they have programs for supportive housing, not just supportive housing, but 24-hour supportive housing. And when someone has been on the street and they need help, you can't just put them into a house and think that they're going to be okay. They need that 24-hour, and then they can move up from there. Once they can progress forward, but it is a housing piece as well, and it's that 24-hour housing piece, as well as the outreach worker who can help identify what their actual needs are and connect them to the services. So it's kind of twofold, and we will be pushing those forward. We have a meeting or a phone call with BC Housing. We just had one, and we have more coming up. So we're going to be moving this forward, and they're looking at what possible property we might be able to use.
Great, thank you. There's a number of levels of housing that will help. When our family moved to Salmon, we lived in co-op housing to start with because we had no money, and it was a stepping stone for us. What I see is, as a team, bringing on a number of players, is I see the city managing that and making the housing, but we do not want to have all of the deep subsidy housing in one place. I see having 30% deep subsidy, 30% subsidy based on income, 40% market housing in the same area, so that in the long run, it's a functional housing piece that's mixed. That's our goal. I think we can do it. We're on the right track. The Housing Task Force, I believe, will be able to access money in the next year.
Thank you so much. Well, that was 6 questions, and I think answered very concisely by each of our candidates. You're going to get the same offer as we gave to the council candidates, and you'll have exercise moment now, because we're going to have yes or no questions by a show of hands. So, you can vote yes, vote no, or abstain. First question is, do you support the procurement of funding for the Ross Street underpass? Yes. Okay, is there a no? Okay. Abstain. The second question is, cultural planning is a process for identifying and leveraging a community's cultural resources and integrating those resources across all facets of local planning and decision-making. Do you support the creation and implementation of a cultural master plan for Salmon? First, yes vote. Aye. Unanimous. Thank you. The third question is, do you support the development and construction of a performing arts centre? Yes vote. Another. Unanimous. And the final question is, we are at risk for forest fires, large-scale flooding, water contamination resulting from rail or transport spillage, landslides, etc. Do you support the creation of a Salmon emergency preparedness and disaster recovery program? Yes votes. Nothing unanimous. Excellent. Well, thank you for taking part in our yes-no questions. It gives everybody a quick overview on how each of you feel on those topics. We've now completed the questions for the mayoralty candidates, and I want to thank them very, very much for their time and efforts and for putting themselves forward for the position of mayor. I'd also like to let you know that tomorrow, the day following our forum, the Chamber will distribute a full list of all the questions that were asked here this evening to all the candidates to allow them the opportunity to provide individual responses. They can do that via their social media, their print or other media channels. So they will have an opportunity to have all the questions again. We'd also like to remind everyone that the referendum to borrow monies for the Ross Street underpass will also be part of the municipal ballot. So we encourage the audience to be as educated as possible on this project and to vote the way you feel. One other small thing I omitted to do earlier, and that was to thank one of our sponsor for this evening, which is the Okanagan Mainline Real Estate Board, for their support. They are authorized by the British Columbia Real Estate Association and a registered local elections campaign financing act. So we thank them for helping to sponsor this event. Thank you. So our advanced voting is on October the 10th and the 16th, and the day of the municipal election is October the 20th. And if you go to www.salmon.ca for voting stations and locations and times. So I'd also like to, last but not least, thank you all for coming this evening and for hearing some very, very worthy candidates. I think it's going to be an amazing time. So thank you so much for attending, and we say once again, don't forget to vote. Thank you.
Thanks, Frida.